Alrighty, hey guys, Leroy Diesel here. Been a very long time this time since I made a video. A little backstory is I got a little bit frustrated with YouTube, and they had monetized me at one point, and then for some reason, because of some glitch, they were saying that I was not active, and they demonetized me. And there's literally no tech support, no nothing there. But they recently told me they would re-monetize me again if I did a couple more videos, and so anyway, here I am again. Was really aggravating that they did that, and anyway, so I'm gonna also, in line with that, I'm gonna change the way that not the way I do videos, but I cannot stand it when every single video you see out there, these people are like, to me it's like begging for you to hit the subscribe button, the like button, and comment below. But that's exactly what YouTube wants to see. It's their algorithms, and the more you do that, the more my video is put out to guys who have 6.5s, and the more it will be on the top of the search engine when people search something for a 6.5. So unfortunately, I have to be the guy that now has to beg you to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below. So with that said, I'm going to have to start saying that in every one of my videos. I hate it, but now we can get into this video. This is a supplement video that will already be on my website for the starter relocation kit. This is a brand new starter. We are doing away with the other starter that was in the other kit. This one is more powerful. It's a gear reduction starter. It's lighter, it's smaller, everything about it is better. So let me get into it a little bit here. These are going to be the changes. Everything on the other video is going to be applicable. It's just that the way that this starter is going to mount is slightly different. So that's what this video is going to show, is how you will mount this new starter. But everything else, like the spacers that go between the flex plate and the torque converter, mounting the engine plate, the dowel pins, all the other stuff is exactly the same. So let me show you what's going on here. Like I say, we've got the brand new starter, different starter, and then we are machining this billet piece so that everything will work and be compatible with each other. So there's a very subtle difference. Let me just get this out of the way too. This bolt is going to be a flathead bolt, and it's going to be the one that's at the top, towards the top of the, faces the top of the engine. I guess you could look at it that way. And right now it's a 5mm Allen wrench that would go in there. The other bolts are 13mm, and these back here from this supplier are 16mm. That could change, because normally that would be a 15mm, but for some reason when they sent these bolts to me, I bought several hundred of them, they were 16mm. Not a big deal, but just so you know. So let me see if I can get everything in the viewfinder. Here is the engine plate. It's the two-piece. You'll have the other piece that, like in the other video, it's all explained there. But for this video, I only need to show you this piece. And it's got, on one position, it's got a countersunk hole, and the bolt doesn't need to sit completely flat, but as long as it's sort of down much lower than the head of these other bolts here. You see how that's going to be much lower profile than this one, and the reason is when you put the transmission back up against the engine, there's a possibility it would hit on the thicker bolt. So we're going with the flathead bolt there. And let me get, oh, and the other thing too is I'm going to ship it to you with this loosely attached, so you'll just need to buzz these off. See there, they're finger tight. I'm going to use my impact real quick. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I'm going to take these out also. Okay, so you have to imagine that this is now on the engine, and you're getting ready to put the reason well, first off, the reason I'm going to ship that loosely is because you do need to mount this to the plate first, is the way I would do it, and then mount the starter, which is sitting over here out of view to the billet piece. So it's pretty simple. This is all hub centric and it's registered, so it's very, very tight and very, very well machined and thought out. But that top bolt is just obviously going to go in that spot. And you see how it's not countersunk all the way down in there. It's not super important that happened. Well, I'm going to loosen it just for a second. You want to get all your bolts started. And there's really no need for me to screw those down all the way. You see what's going on here. So you would get these tight. I would say actually just snug down. It may not be a bad idea to put some anti-seize on the threads. Anytime you're using steel into aluminum, I like to use anti-seize, especially if you're up in the salt belt area. The other thing to take note of is right up here where we've got this machine boss, this is actually where the block is. So your old starter mounted right through here somewhere, and the whole block is now, here's your freeze plugs and all that are kind of back over here. The motor mount's probably about in here somewhere. But to get my point across, this mounting boss, it's possible that this could hit the block. If it does, this engine plate will be on the engine already. And if you go and put this billet aluminum on here and it won't set down flush all the way around, then it's probably hitting right here just a little bit. And some of the blocks I've discovered were cast differently. And so you could get a file, just some kind of a coarse file, and just file this off until the offending area is gone, and this will sit up in there nice and flush. So real simple. And then, as a matter of fact, once you get this in there looking like I have it now, oh yeah, by the way, got my Leroy diesel machined in the bottom of it, so when you're laying underneath your truck admiring your work, you can look up there and remember who sent this to you. So Leroy diesel, you get one of those, decal bumper sticker. So this will be sitting there like that, hanging off your engine, kind of bolted up there, and then this will bolt like that. And now I need about 3 hands, but you see how that went in there super easy. Get the other one. Yep, it went in there nice. And the last one, I'm gonna just buzz it down super quick with the impact. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like when you get it all installed. Let me move my hand out of that position. So you'll have those there. Yeah, my sticker's blowing away. Trying to think what else. Oh yeah, I knew there was something else. Get this out of the way. On the old version, you would have had a support bracket that would have went from in this area to the block. This one is not going to need it because this uses 3 bolts up here. Right here, these 3 bolts I just showed you, and the torque on this thing is I don't know how to explain this very well, but when the original configuration, when you have those 2 bolts coming up into the block, And when you put all that torque on that, I mean, it's literally trying to rip those bolts out of the block, and that's exactly what happens. With this, you have a different force that's more in line with the flex plate and the starter gear right here. When all this is being torqued, it's kind of trying to torque against this plate. When it torques, it's not trying to rip these bolts out of the block. So this is actually a stronger setup, I think, than the original cast iron, the original bolts. So that's pretty much it. Got a mosquito attacking me there. LeroyDiesel.com. If you have a 6.5 or 6.2 diesel that has a broken starter mount, then this is the product you're going to want. It's the relocation kit, and this starter is awesome. And so any questions, let me know. As always, you can go to LeroyDiesel.com. My email and phone number are there. I actually answer the phone about 99% of the time. Not a lot of companies out there are answering the phone anymore. At worst case, you can email me, and that's actually the method I prefer, but I will answer phone calls. But yeah, email me. My email address is on the website. And going back to the YouTube thing, like and subscribe and put a comment down below. I would appreciate it. It's going to help me out in the long run and help me to be able to keep making videos for you guys. That's it. I really appreciate your time. Have a good one.